Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight? Big green day today for AMC, up 6.89% during the market hours. After hours, little bounce, 13 cents, up 0.35%. Couldn't close over 37. There's always tomorrow. It's already Monday. We have a whole rest of the week left. I think we got a lot of good things in store for us. How's everybody doing? Whoa, we got a lot of people in here tonight. Shout out the mods. What's up, Javier, what's going on? Let's see. So let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh boy, TMI's avocado showing up. You know, it's going to be a wild one. Let's do a little bit of an Ortex refresh so we can see exactly where we're at. So utilization still the same, 90.19. That'll refresh tomorrow morning. It's probably going to stay about the same, either 89 to about 91. That's around where I'm expecting to see this. Return shares today, 3.4 million. Borrowed shares, 1.99 million. A net return of shares for AMC, 1.4 million shares were returned. Now, those could have been shares that were covered, so bought back, returned, or those could have been shares that just went out on loan. Then they just gave them back. For whatever reason, they decided not to short the stock, because maybe they were expecting to see a giant price run up, which we are all expecting to see. The estimated short interest, 17.95%. Oh, what's up, everybody? Oh, batshit, we love you too, man. Let's see. Changed avocado emojis, did you now? Interesting. AMC and AQST. Gamma squeeze big this week and next. Omar, AMC is not really setting up for a gamma squeeze this week. And I would bet that AQST is not either, because when we think about monthly options expiration dates versus weekly options expiration dates, the monthlies typically have more open interest in volume. And when there's more open interest, meaning that more contracts are being held at one given time, that leads to a greater potential for that institutional hedging. And that could result in a gamma squeeze. But the week after the monthly options expiration dates, we typically see a lot lower amount of open interest in volume, just because if anybody was betting on options going into the end of August, they were most likely buying the monthly options expiration dates. So what we would see next is a pileup on the September 17th date. So this is going to be the date that I want all you guys to look for. We already have a decent pileup on this 40. The 45's got a decent amount, but again, the 145s already have a very significant amount. So if we see the price action that a lot of people are expecting to see happen by the end of August, and we see those 145s maybe get close to or in the money, if we really start to rip up, then that just gives more buying volume, which can push the stock even higher. Can we talk about the regulations that start Q4? Mo, that's a good question. We could. Can you be more specific with that? I have a feeling they're waiting for enough people to buy calls, then walk it down and drain those premiums. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Well, remember what happened in June when there were 240,000 contracts being held by people at one given time on that 40 when the stock was trading at around 8 to 14. Now, the same argument could be made there, but we saw the stock go to 77. Do you see the Mark Cuban and Gary Gensler beef? I did see that. How are you in college? You could be a professor. I'd take your class. Yeah, I wouldn't. What do you think is going to happen this Thursday with Powell's meeting? Okay, so Nepal, good question. Jackson Hole Symposium it starts on, I believe, the 26th, which is the Thursday. And then the 27th is when Powell is supposed to give his remarks. The key thing that you got to look out for is any comments on tapering. That's the first thing that we really need to look out for. They're not going to mention really a time frame when they're going to raise rates, because that could potentially be coming at the end of 2022 or in 2023. That's kind of when they've been projecting a lot of those things to happen. So the thing that we need to keep an eye on is the tapering, because we know how the market reacted last time. Do you agree with Review Dork? Everybody's been taking his comments way out of context. Wall Street Viking, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for the super. Shout out to all you guys who send those in. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to keep doing what we do. So thank you very much. Wall Street Viking says September 17th is a quarterly. I expect to see a nice run up a week or two before it, like we did the last times. Viking, yeah, 100%. We saw that because the June monthly options expiration date was the quarterly expiration as well. Yeah, and we're already seeing a decent pile up. I agree with Review Dork, says batshit. We need more buying pressure. We need more money, and we need it to trigger. Yeah, 100%. Everybody's taking his comments way out of context, though. SCB, is YouTube shorting you? First time ever where you've gone live and it shows you as not even being online? Honestly, Gio, if you look at all of the other creators, YouTube kind of shorted everybody in the after hours, I think. So hopefully not. But if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video. We've seen YouTube kind of mess around by putting like Fox or not Fox, Charles Payne, solid. But CNBC and all of those FUD videos like at the top recently. And the only way for us to beat that is if we get like enough engagement that we can like beat the algorithm. So if we want like the actual information going out there, like this doesn't just go for like my channel, like it's every channel. If you want the correct information getting out there, you got to help the creators that you like out. What do you think about the 135 calls in the money for January? I mean, they could. We could see a giant run up. Let's see. I'm getting a huge bonus at work in 2 weeks, 600K. Grandy, what do you do for a living? Do you think I will be in time before the squeeze? Honestly, probably. The thing is, though, is that a lot of people are projecting. That's the key word there. It's a projection based on the technicals and what we've seen in the past. The thing about the stock market and basically any market is you can not really look at previous events in order to accurately predict the future. It gives you like a probabilistic outcome. Like it could do this because it did this in the past. So a lot of people are thinking that the next big run up is going to come very, very soon. Could it? Absolutely. Could it not? It's just as likely in my opinion. But when we're thinking about the next price run up, if we were to see the next big run up similar to what we saw in June, I would expect to see the next floor of where we're at in terms of price be around $100. So we'll rip up to some crazy number like we did from 10 to 77, and then we'll settle down, I believe, in around that $100 range. It's very possible that happens. Mr. VIX, did you see the drop in the VIX index today? Guys, fun fact, Thursday or Friday, I shorted the VIX. So I had some puts on VXX. The weird thing about that, though, is that this is something that you got to be very careful with options, because this doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So I bought on Thursday the 27 put when the stock was trading at like 31, or the ETN was trading at like 31. Now, when we look at this 5-day chart, and then we'll just go over this really quickly, then we'll go back to AMC. We saw a big drop from the open to the close on Friday. So it was at around 30, closed around 29. Nope, that's Thursday. So I bought them around here, and then we saw this big drop on Friday. My contracts went down. It was very weird. And then today they picked back up, made some money, and then that's where we're at. But I did short the VIX last week. So if anybody was wondering. Oh, Batshit says short the VIX, shorted the VIX. Who would have thunk? Yeah, I also bought calls on VXX like right around here too. So I kind of played it both ways. There was that little fake drop in the S&P, which I made a decent amount of money off of. And then I figured that dip in the market was going to get bought up right away because that's the trend that we've been seeing. And then I got some puts on the VIX. So I played it both ways. No FUD, but would you be surprised if AMC never squeezes? I mean, not really. The thing is that shorts, or yes, I would be very surprised. Let me rephrase that. I would be surprised because when we look at, let me pull this up here. The bare minimum Ortex data shows that the estimated short interest is 18%. At some point, the shorts are going to have to cover that position. Now, it depends on where we're at in terms of the price, on where the actual price of the stock will get to. But if retail is still holding and does not want to sell, it takes away from the supply, and there still is a jacked up demand because all of these shorts are still going to want to cover their position. So even if it's that bare minimum 18% short interest, that's still a very significant amount. SCV, now that OnlyFans is banning blank, you'll have more money to invest. That's funny. You sell medical products. Oh, there you go. Good for you. True to your name, SCV. Yeah, I did. All right, let's see. If there are so many synthetic shares, then wouldn't hedges have to cover 4 to 5x the float? There's no way that the short squeeze won't take us to the moon, right? So the thing about the synthetic or counterfeit shares is that nobody knows how many of them there are. So if nobody knows how many of them there actually are out in the market, there's no way to figure out how many times over they have to buy back the float. And here's the other thing. When we're thinking about if they have to buy back the float a certain amount of times, it's not like this is what I think a lot of people get confused on. It's not like they have to buy our shares back, then rebuy them. It's like, well, they would have to buy the 513 million and then keep buying. But let's say that's 50% of all Apes shares. So they would buy all of them back, but then Apes are still holding their shares. So then they would just continue buying. It's like a weird little technicality that I don't think people truly understand. Need to get AMC to partner with DraftKings in states that have legalized gambling and dedicate theaters to bookies in Vegas for high stakes events such as Super Bowl, boxing, UFC, and college football. That would not be a bad idea. Let's see. Next week, I'll buy another bottle of Kraken. There you go. Oh, what's up, Ben? Need margin calls. Well, we do know that there's going to be an uptick in margin calls starting around September 1st, and that's going to really revolve around those initial margin requirements. And there's going to be that third party involved that makes sure they can't mess around in those agreements. Like the example that we went over last night in The Big Short, when Christian Bale, Michael Burry goes to Goldman Sachs for the first time, and they don't have a product to basically short MBS, like mortgage-backed securities, and they make it for him. So that would be an OTC derivative, and that would fall under the category that we're looking at for those increases in margin calls. How likely is it that there are synthetic shorts on AMC? Like, would you be able to give a rough number? The Honest Ape, very good question. So there's no way to know for sure. The best idea that we have is looking at the failure to delivers, because not every failure to deliver is a naked short, but every single naked short or synthetic share created ends up being a failure to deliver. And we can see that the amount that AMC has for FTDs and the amount that got them on the threshold securities list suggests that there is something going on, because you should not have that high of an amount of failure to delivers without something crazy going on. Like, you can have failure to delivers due to market makers not being able to buy enough shares in order to deliver on some of those options contracts. That could be one of the reasons why failure to deliver spike. Jackson Hunter had a really cool find in 2005, the SEC sting operations. Yeah, so Ben Levine actually sent that video to me, and it revolves around the diamond mining company. So what happened was this stock had, I think it was either between 2 and 3 trillion counterfeit shares sold into the market. And this company was used as an SEC sting operation. But what happened was the company went out of business due to all of these counterfeit shares being pumped into the market. And what happened was the SEC was like, well, we're not going to prosecute you, but you're going to have to pay us some hefty fines. Now, the lawsuit that I haven't read into this fully. It's either still going on or I'm not necessarily sure about where the lawsuit is at in terms of the legal proceedings. But what the lawsuit is trying to do is get that money that the hedge funds paid to the SEC and give it to investors, because the investors were the ones that lost the money. It was basically like bribe money that the hedge funds gave to the SEC in order for them to not prosecute. But those funds should have trickled down to the investors who lost the money. Do you believe AMC would cause a worsening problem than 2008 VW? If you're talking about the 2008 crash, I don't think AMC is going to cause a situation like 2008, but it will definitely add fuel to the fire. Ben Levine, they collected over $2 trillion, I believe, and never dispersed it to anybody. Yep, that is nuts. How long can they kick this can? Okay, so this goes into what I was saying yesterday about how it's not the big institutions that we need to be focused on. It's not, because they have so much money that they can maintain what is called the maintenance margin requirements for a lot of these positions, where they can just keep kicking the can down the road. And if they have enough gains on their other positions, it doesn't matter that they're so down horrendously on this AMC short if they can maintain these margin requirements and they don't have to cover. But the smaller institutions who are probably over leveraged on AMC short or GameStop shorts as well are not going to be able to maintain those maintenance margin requirements for as long. So when we think about who is really going to start the covering, it's going to be these smaller institutions. And we've seen it in the past. And the way that we look at that is the utilization. So the utilization is the amount of shares that institutions are willing to lend versus the amount of shares that have been lent out. And when we see this number, let me get these FTDs off. When we see this percentage drop, it suggests that a lot of shares are being returned. Now, this could be the result of smaller institutions. But at the same time, when you see a stock like AMC run up very significantly and come back down, there's more shorts coming in this range right here. More shorts. So that could be large institutions averaging down. That could be bigger shorts adding to their position. But again, there's more shorts coming in. So most likely, not all of the shorts who are shorting AMC in the $5 to $10 range are still in this trade. It is entirely possible that those shorts are 50 to 75% out of their short position. Okay, cool. But we're still seeing AMC get put on the threshold list at the end of June, I believe it was. We're still seeing a really high amount of short interest. We're still seeing a really high amount of utilization, which suggests that there's a lot more shorts piling in, which is why I've been saying not just one institution. There's a lot of different institutions hanging around here. Oneox, I think is how you would pronounce your name. Thank you so much for the super. What's up, STV? Any knowledge on how the QSIP numbers work with the stock tracking? Just thinking, count the QSIPs. That's interesting. I would have to take a deeper look into that. Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, it would take forever to count, but if you could, that would be interesting. I'd have to take a deeper look into that and exactly what the QSIP numbers are going to show. Nepal, what's up with the illegal shares Bloomberg was talking about? Are you talking about Brazil? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. Simon says, what's up, STV? Hope you're good. I'm all right. Yeah, the Brazil stuff is just it's like, think about if you're buying shares of Alibaba or any Chinese company in the United States. You're buying American depository receipts or American depository shares. You don't actually own shares in the actual company. It's the same thing that they would be doing in Brazil. It's not anything crazy. Is there any chance they get out of covering or the SEC delisting AMC? Okay, so according to the rules that I have read, the only way the SEC would do something like that is if AMC, the company, was actually the one orchestrating the fraud, which they're not. I still can't get a grasp on what the reverse repo is. Okay, we can go over reverse repos. So what a reverse repurchase agreement is in its basic form is, let's say I have a bunch of cash, the Fed has a bunch of securities, we're going to do a little bit of a swap. Now, the reason that the banks are doing this is that there's not enough collateral in the market, and treasuries are used as collateral a lot. And we're going to go over exactly how we know that in a little bit. We can pull up that new FICC filing. But there's also too much cash in the banking system right now. And when there's too much cash in the banking system, it becomes a liability on the bank's balance sheet. Why would that be? Well, they have to pay interest on that cash. So if they have to pay interest on that cash, they have too much of it, well, they're paying out too much interest. So what they do is they enter into these reverse repurchase agreements with the Fed where they're going to give them that cash so they can maintain these regulatory standards, and they get securities instead. That's in its basic form exactly what's going on there. Geo, I will check my DMs when I get time. If you have a call option and the stock shoots up after hours, will the option reflect the spike the next day on market open? Dustin, yes, it could take a little bit of time though for the option to actually update. Sometimes it's around 15 minutes. I've seen that happen where like a lot of the time options are a reflection, especially if it's in a liquid market, of supply and demand. So whatever the buyers and sellers are willing to transact at or what the contract is going to go for. So when the market opens, you could see the bid-ask spread go from here really close. So let's say it's $100 to $105. The market opens, the ask jumps up to $175. Now the bids haven't caught up to that yet. So let's say the bids are still at $100. It might slowly step up and update, but at the same time, if you were to try to sell on market open, the highest bid might be what the option contract closed at the day before. So there is like a waiting game aspect involved. You're still using their numbers to conclude your thesis. Not really. The Ortex is the bare minimum that we're using. That still shows a really high amount. But what if told you the short interest is 400% using their direct NYSE data on Fintel? Robert, short positions are not reported on Fintel. Some of them are, but not all of them. And puts you cannot use to show short interest. So you can't really tell. Let's see. Dustin, anytime, man. Let's see. Yeah. We also have this very interesting tweet from Gary Gensler today that I want to go over a little bit. So this Gary Gensler tweet, a lot of people have been saying in the past and right now that the SEC, all of these regulations, these rules are not doing anything. I don't believe that. I think it takes time for a lot of these things to play out. And we know that the SEC is not going to be disclosing this investigation. So this tweet right here, if someone asks a lawyer, accountant, or advisor if something is over the line, maybe it's time to step back from the line. Going right up to the edge of a rule or searching for some ambiguity in the text or footnote may not be consistent with the law and its purpose. The spirit of the law is about protecting investors. Our rigorous enforcement regime at the SEC is about following the facts and the law wherever they may lead on behalf of investors and working families. Well, that's a pretty good statement. This includes deceptive conduct by private funds, offering or accounting frauds, insider trading, market manipulation, failures to act in retail customers' best interest. Kind of talking about payment for order flow there in dark pools, reporting violations, best execution, also dark pools and payment for order flow, and fiduciary violations or any form of misconduct. Interesting. What do you guys think about that tweet? Let's see. I'm going to shoot this link out to some people. Let's see. Would that decrease the cost of goods and lower GDP? Jeremy, not really sure what you're talking about, but here's also what we need to look at. I had this up today. Here it is. So this is really revolving around GDP. Goldman slashed their GDP forecast for Q3 to 5.5% from 9% down. Wells Fargo reduced their Q3 GDP forecast to 6.8% from 8.8%. Bank of America, the biggest decrease in terms of a percentage, 7% to 4.5%. So that revolves around economic growth. They're not really expecting the economy to grow at as fast of a rate. So when you think about that, it also has to do with real GDP versus nominal GDP. The last time the GDP numbers came out, about half of the GDP growth was due to inflation. That's not really a good thing to have. It's basically saying that, well, the reason why we're growing isn't actually economic growth, it's just inflated prices. Let's see. I think Gary should give me my tendies and call it a day. Anyways, I'll see myself out. There you go. I think Gensler is fraudulently pretending he is on our side and doing the right thing. I think he is a fraud. Fair. Jeremy says, example, concrete costs about twice as much, but as supply increases, the cost should come back down. Jonathan Ford, SCE, what's happening, apes? Nice day to be an AMC shareholder, 100%. Let's take a look at the option chain to see if it repopulated a little bit with some more open interest. This is another thing that I want to point out to you guys that's really important. So if there's one thing you take away from the price action today, it's this right here. Here's what it is. So last week, we saw that big run up from low 30s to about 38 or a little over 38. Now, last week was a monthly options expiration date where we saw potentially a decent amount of hedging from these institutions that needed to become directionally neutral because a lot of these contracts are running in the money and they were fearing a potential to have to buy shares at a crazy amount and being forced to sell them at a significant loss. So that definitely fed into the buying volume for last week. This week, we're not seeing that much in terms of potential gamma squeeze potential. So the fact that we saw a 10% day at one point today, but we closed the day at 6.89% is really good news. And here's why. It's retail most likely, and also some institutional buys coming in that aren't trying to hedge options. That's a really good sign that sees there's a lot of bullish sentiment in AMC right now. Ashraf, thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate it. What's up, Vix? Ver ominous that there are barely any shares to borrow, yet utilization and cost of borrows down. Yeah. So so Ortex doesn't give us the amount of shares that they can actually borrow in a given day. We do see the update on utilization, which shows us that there's a lot more shares to borrow. And when you look at Stonko Tracker or iBorrowDesk, that's only reporting from one broker. So we're not really seeing, like, it's not giving us the best understanding of how many shares are actually out there. But yeah, utilization has been trending down a little bit, but look what happened last time. Utilization stayed up very high in the 99% range, dropped, came back up, and then really tanked. So we could be in this drop phase right here. But who knows? We'll see. Oh, antics. You're a wild boy. Are they paying interest on the synthetic shares? No. I've noticed that open interest doesn't open till bell the next day. Yeah, Ben, I was just looking to see if anything had changed or what the heck? All right, hold up. I didn't do anything here. I just clicked back. Do you see what just happened? Do you see what's on my screen right now? That's kind of weird. Hold on. I'm going to leave this up for a second. This could be a little glitch, an after hours glitch. Huh. Maybe it's because I clicked something in the after hours. It says options is not available for this stock now. Yeah, exactly. It is after hours. So hold on. If I click something, yeah, that's why. Let's go to somewhere else to make sure this isn't a crazy boop. Yeah, it's an after hours thing. Yeah, market close. That's why. Yeah, because after hours is over. See, yeah, that's very true. But at the same time, I've clicked that. The reason why I was like, huh, that's kind of weird, is I've accidentally clicked stuff like that before, and you can set up orders to go in for the next day. So that's kind of weird. But at the same time, let's see what happens tomorrow. Odds are it's after 8 p.m. After hours is closed. Can't put any more orders. Done deal. Options are going to be fine. Yeah, that's probably nothing, guys. Most likely nothing. Hit the like button. Show your boy STV some love. Tony, thank you, man. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video. Saw your heart skip? Yeah, it did. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I didn't. I tried VXX. I came over here, VXX, click this. Options not available for the stock right now. It's most likely just because it's after hours. This might be a new like Webull update, or I'm just not logged in. Like there's a lot of weird reasons where yeah, there's a lot of like I'm not logged in on this on right here right now. So BAM is pretty solid, but nothing is ever guaranteed. Yeah, so here's the thing. A lot of people are projecting to have a really significant run up in August. But what we have to remember is the overall market conditions happening this week. We could easily see tapering comments come out from the Fed again, and there's a more real sell-off. Like the sell-off that we saw like 2 weeks ago was kind of fake. Sold off about 1.5%, and then it just rallied right back up. And I'm talking about the market right there. But if more comments come out about tapering, we could then see a more real test of that 50-day moving average. Let's see. Bam said August should hit all-time high. That would be cool. Shahan, what's going up, man? I read some SEC filings back. BlackRock had loan interest of $30 billion. Mike, Mike, can you send me a link to that? That would be pretty interesting. I feel like the tapering stuff is mostly factored into the market already. Interesting. Review Dork says this will only squeeze to 7,000. No, he didn't. You didn't listen to the video. It has to do with geometric means. And that's not really... make sure you don't spread misinformation about that type of stuff, because then it creates FUD amount, in just random, division among the community. Just that's not what happened. Sure. Will you buy options? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? If I see an opportunity to make money with options, why wouldn't I buy them? Yeah, pushing, you do have an imposter, but I did ban them. Nepal is out of money. Is out of the money options a good way to leverage if you don't have a lot of shares right now? Out of the money options, no, but in the money leaps is a decent way to leverage, because here's what you need to look at. So if we're looking at AMC, for example, and we're trying to figure out a way to get leverage, let's look at the January 2023s. So you could buy this $20 strike for $2,500, and it would essentially give you control. And let's go a little bit deeper. Right here. This is a really good example. A $5 or a $5.50 strike for January 2023. So this would cost you around $3,000 in order to buy this contract. It gives you the right to purchase shares at $5.50 on or before January of 2023. Now, if you were to go out and buy 100 shares of stock right now, it would cost you $3,678. So there's that $678 difference where that would be your leverage. Now you can step it up a little bit, but you're going to mimic less in terms of the amount of shares than you would if you were to buy these 5.5s. So what you would be mimicking here with these 5.5s is owning about 99 shares. Options are what causes gamma squeezes if you know what you're doing. Ashraf, 100%. You are 100% correct in that. Shares is safer. You are also correct. Geometric mean looks at, I'd have to pull it back up, but it would give you, so here's what the gist of the geometric mean tells us. If the stock were to go to 500,000, let's just say, for example, what would be the average sale price of each share that would be sold if the price were to get that high? The geometric mean tells us what that average price would be. That average price is around $5,000 to $11,000. That's what the geometric mean tells us. Because not every ape is going to be able to hold to those high numbers. Ho, what's up, Fuzzy? Vix, how do you feel about Pfizer not moving up more today with the approval news? Guys, we talked about this. Let's pull up PFE. Everybody was getting very hyped up in the chat about Pfizer. And I said, if you want to play Pfizer and you wanted to play this news, you would have already had to be in the play. This is a classic buy the rumor, sell the news. This wasn't necessarily a sell the news, but it didn't rip like everybody thought it was going to. It did hit a high of about 51.36. So if you bought in the morning on this dip, you could have crushed it. But at the same time, you have to be very experienced with a lot of these trading options to figure out what's going on. You'd have to have a good technical understanding of where the chart is at and what a good entry point would be. Not everybody is an expert trader. I don't consider myself an expert trader, which is why, like, one of the reasons why when everybody was hyping up that Pfizer announcement, I was planning on staying away from it, because that's just a very, very good setup for a buy the rumor, sell the news, because once everybody knows something is happening, that's when people start to get out, because there's probably not going to be a large move because everybody expects it to happen. What is the best way to close an option during the squeeze? Sell the option or exercise and then sell the shares, assuming liquidity is not an issue. Very good question. You will make more money in terms of a dollar amount if you are able to sell the contract. All other things being held equal, unless there's a really wild bid-ask spread, then you will make more money just selling the contract. Yeah. If you sell the contract, you'll make more money. Oh, Clay bro, what's going on, man? You want to pop in? Clay bro, I'm going to shoot you the link. Let's see. AMC closed at 36.98 on Webull and 36.97 on Robinhood. Yeah, it's just probably a little glitch. All right, bud. I sent you the link, though. Just hop on whenever you want to. You haven't had anything to eat today? Ooh, that's not good. Chip bro was eating more than you, I bet. Getting all those acorns. Let's see. When new apartment rager? I mean, probably never, honestly. Thank you, man. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? Ortex usually flickers around in the after hours. Let's see if we got a little change. Nothing right now. Nothing right now. What are your thoughts on Roblox? Most likely Roblox is probably a solid long-term investment. I've heard a lot of good things about what they're doing at the company and how much interest there is in the actual game or platform, whatever you want to call it. What do you think about tomorrow? Do you think we might hit that 40? Do I think we'll hit 40 tomorrow? It's very possible that we hit 40 tomorrow. But it's also very possible that we see the shorts really come out in full. But at the same time, they didn't borrow that many shares today. Friday, they didn't borrow that many shares. They returned a lot of shares. Over last week, we were kind of like looking for when they were going to input those 14 million shares that they took out on loan that one day. And we did see it on like a 2-day stretch where the market was coming down and AMC was going down with it. We have to break 38. Yep. If you guys were on TMI stream earlier today when I was on there, what the stock was doing is it was moving up in increments of 25 cents. So on the way up, it would bounce around. It would come up to a multiple of 25. So it would go to like 36.50. If it broke through 36.50, it was then using that as support to the next leg up to 36.75. Then we would cross there. It would use the next that level of support and keep stair stepping its way up. So when we saw it it just kept going. We saw it today. Let me pull up the daily. So we saw these stair steps up today. We got to around power hour, and then they just knocked it down. My tinfoil hat is telling me they're waiting for Jackson Hole. It could be. Would it make the most sense for the government to create laws to make this squeeze before January 1 year to gain as much tax revenue as possible? Yeah, if we're just going off of that one variable, the government would want more tax money, and they would want this to squeeze to the peak before January. But there's a lot of other variables involved. Wow, dude. If anybody is just crushing it out here in the market, it's Fuzzy. He had a 40,000% gain in the stock market. He's in Cardano under 50 cents. This dude's just crushing it. SEV, if there are no options to cover, I think the hedges will hold back on using heavy manipulation. So what we were talking about over the last couple of weeks is like the theory of how they're entering their shorts into the market. It's entirely possible that they're waiting for the stock to get to a certain level to kind of chill out, and then they short it down and try to get it to a certain price level where they know that these institutions are going to have to start hedging puts. When they hedge puts, they have to short. So without that, we might see less volatility and more natural price action just based off like retail sentiment and institutional sentiment buying, and more based on supply and demand. But at the same time, this option chain right here could just repopulate. We still see a decent amount of open interest at this 40. Ashraf, Moderna is killing it. Yeah. How do you figure out how much money you make on long out the money options? A1R128. You can use optionsprofitcalculator.com. That's a decent one, but again, you may not know exactly how much money you're going to make, but it'll give you a rough estimate. Let's see. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right. You guys excited for that fantasy football league? It's going to be fun. Cardano hitting 3 within the next hour. Oh, boy. You probably already said this, but can they draw this out for a long time and just cover slowly? Robert, they could, but it would just be that slow stair step up in terms of price action, because they would have to pump in that buying volume continuously over an extended period of time. And it also leads to the possibility of this situation getting even more out of hand. Here's why. If we had a chart that looked like this, let's just say this was on a 3-year time scale. This is the daily chart for AMC. This is what happened today. But let's say this was 3 years. Well, shorts are going to come in all the way up because they're going to say, hey, it's fundamentally overvalued. We need to keep shorting it. So it would just draw it out longer and longer and longer. But if they just rip the Band-Aid off, then we'll see what we see with overstock, which I see happening for AMC. If we look at this on a 5-year, it'll just come up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, because the shorts will cover up to here. They'll short it back down. They'll cover down here, short it down, cover down here, short it down, and it'll just keep doing that cycle. So it's entirely possible that the AMC share price is going to be jacked for a long period of time after the MOAS happens. Is it worth it to exercise in the money calls and sell shares at a different price points during the squeeze, or is selling options more profitable and safer? You would make more money just selling the option, but you would provide more buying volume if you were to just exercise. Clay bro, I'm gonna cook some burgers. Have a good night, Vix. You too, man. Enjoy the stream, everyone. Smash the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Clay bro. Three green soldiers. What are you looking at there? The quicker the hedgies rip the Band-Aid, the cheaper they could get out. Potentially the first to cover gets out for the smallest loss. Frodo, 100% correct. AJ, what's going on, man? On the daily AMC. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 greens right here, but on the weekly. Yeah, I could see it. Everybody's been really, really excited about this bullish move in August. If we can break that, I believe it's 46 was the level that TMI was calling out. If we can break 46, it's boom, boom season. Shan, thank you so much for the super. I really, really appreciate it. How does the market keep moving after 5? I don't understand the after hours number moving up and down after hours. Okay. So the actual market hours go from 9:30 Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, there is an after hours trading period where some brokerages allow you to execute trades in the after hours, which closes at 8 p.m. And other brokers do not. So it's a lot of institutional trades. There's a lot of the time it's a lot lower volume. And the price will move up until 8 p.m. Eastern. But thank you so much for the super. Hopefully that was able to answer your question. Let's see. September 1st. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, September 1st could be like the beginning of this really big liquidity drain that we see. It's just going to put more pressure on these institutions that have to put up more initial margin on these positions. It's not going to affect what's out there right now because it's not the maintenance margin, it's the initial margin that they're looking at. Why is it that every synthetic share would be an FTD? Okay, so if you naked short, you don't have a share. Now, you don't have a way to get your hands on that share either, especially if a stock is hard to borrow. So if you let somebody short a stock, even though you don't actually have the share to loan out, you fail to deliver that share to your customer or the person that is taking the loan of that share. That's why it becomes a failure to deliver. Hedge funds are hoping that we get bored with the AMC play. I am not bored. Anybody else? Oh, I'm not bored at all. No, Chris, it is 8 p.m. Eastern. Good evening, STV. Could you go over SPRT? If you get a chance, I'll be chilling and smoking from Liftoff today. Yeah, I think SPRT was I think True Demon brought that up. We're going to try to get him on the stream this week too. Ben Levine's going to help out with that. Shout out to Ben. But yeah, SPRT, I think the short interest 70%. But again, the big short squeezes, GameStop and AMC, the reason for that is because it's the community that is sticking behind them. No other stock really has that giant of a community that is just so bullish on these two stocks. Cap, thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate it. Future beer money, bud. Get some Tang while you're at it. Are you talking about like the orange drink? Tang is solid. Vix, all the large number of FTDs, have they been covered since the new law? The new law doesn't disallow people from creating FTDs. Okay, Honest Ape, cool. Yeah, the orange drink. I used to drink Tang all the time. I don't want to hear it. Now I'm onto Liquid IV. It's a little bit different. It provides the hydration. It's better. Oh, the legend. I'm finally up. There we go. Hey, once we crack that new all-time high, I'm going to put out a tweet. Every single ape is green. We saw that happen in June. It was awesome. Everybody who had bought AMC, once we cracked that all-time high, everybody was green. It was awesome, except for the shorts. Cap, thank you so much for another super. Sunny D is better. Tang is poo. Didn't you just tell me to buy Tang though? Liquid IV is the best. Do they have orange Liquid IV? Yeah, they do, actually. Here's a little advertisement for Liquid IV. I went to the CVS this morning and it was pouring rain because I'm in a hurricane. And this is what we got right here. They have it's tangerine. It's not orange. It's not terrible. Lemon lime is the best one. But yeah. Why do they continue to loan shares out when they're responsible to find the real shares? Because they think that they can get their hands on real shares. And we don't really know how this mechanism really works, because if we did, we would be able to bring that lawsuit that exposes how they're doing this and creating all of these shares. There's something weird going on behind the scenes that we haven't necessarily been able to put our finger on, but the save out kind of gave us a good understanding of how many shares could potentially be out there. There's a lot of different things that are like, well, and it goes back to my example about, well, who's really to blame here? Is it the people who are actually like the children who eats the candy, or is it the person who gave the child the candy? In my opinion, it's the person that gave the child the candy, because the child cannot help themselves if you give them all of that candy and they eat it and now they don't feel good, and then you have to deal with the consequences. Ho, Vegas. What time is it where you're at, Vegas? It must be like 4 a.m. or something. STV Spider-Man Far From Home trailer leaked. Ho, that'll be good. So we have that probably won't come out for a while, but we do have the new James Bond movie coming out. And for everybody who hasn't seen it yet, AMC closed the after hours trading period at 36.98. It's 7:26 a.m. says Vegas. That's early. Possibility for a short to ride a squeeze to crazy heights and back down to cover without getting shaken out at the top. Mr. Levitz, I mean, they would have to input that buying volume in the form of covering in order to get the share price to those crazy high levels, and then they would continuously get margin called by the institution that they're trading through. And at one point, they're not going to either want to or be able to come up with the new capital to maintain those maintenance margin requirements, and then they would cover their shorts. One last question. You can ask all the questions you want. Is it possible for hedgies to destroy their synthetic shorts, thus making it as if they never existed? This would obviously not work in the apes' favor. I don't see a way that they could actually do that, because they're on their balance. The short position is on their balance sheet. They have that exposure. Oh, Fuzzy, thank you so much for another super. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for sending those in. You guys don't have to, and it really means a lot. So no way, fam. It's Sunny D and Rum. Also, it's a song on YouTube. Totally worth a listen. Hope all is well with everyone. Got some big news to share soon. Ooh, Fuzzy. Does it have to do with the Minecraft server? SB, what do you think is going to happen first? Donda dropping, GTA 6 release, or AMC MOAS? Whew, I don't know. That's a tough one. AMC fake story is here, so when it gets confirmed and shut down, it'll appear to be bad news when it actually never was news. Yeah, so if you guys watched my video from earlier, we were looking at all of the times in the past when this Amazon news looking to acquire AMC has been released. Now, every single time that piece of news has been released, there's never been a real source. The source is always, trust me, bro. It's never a real, like, direct from AMC, direct from Amazon. It's always this, like, oh, we cited an anonymous source. Oh, we talked to somebody at Odeon Cinemas. It's like, yeah, well, if this is such a big piece of news, that one, Adam Aaron would have announced it in the earnings report that they were in talks with Amazon. Or they were looking to get acquired by somebody, versus going out and making acquisitions themselves. it's just a weird situation. It's like the implications of Amazon buying AMC for cash is huge, because they would need to know what they're buying. If there's synthetic shares that are out there that shouldn't be, and they were to buy that company, that would be bad for Amazon because they entered into a bad deal. So they would buy a certain amount of shares. They would expect to have all of them. And if they didn't, well, that could be a squeeze catalyst. But again, it is wild speculation right now that AMC is looking to get acquired by Amazon. It is not confirmed at all. At this moment, we see Melvin Capital has to pay $500 million back to Citadel. Is it possible that Melvin Capital will be the first hedge fund to fall and that incident will create a domino effect? It could. It easily could, but at the same time, we've seen other hedge funds like fail. There was that hedge fund out in London that basically closed down its main fund due to its losses on GameStop. I forget which one it was, what it was called, but that was a couple of weeks ago or I think it was a month ago. It was definitely in July where we saw that one fund out in Europe basically fail because of their over-leveraged short position on GameStop. Let's see. I forgot that it was the brokers who are the ones that created this synthetic shorts. If there are any, yeah. It just doesn't make any sense that retail is in the dark with how many synthetic shares there are. Who knows this number, and how will retail know when the squeeze has closed to its potential? Robert, you won't. You really won't. That's why we've all been preaching that you need to come up with a very specific plan on how much money you need to basically come out of this squeeze and be fine. If you have your own plan, let's just say, for example, I do not want any crazy things being spread around that I think this is the height of the squeeze. This is literally an example. Say you're already set up decent financially. You have a boatload of shares. You bought in super low and you're like, oh, if it hits 1,000, I'm good. Then you would sell then. But if you don't have that amount of shares and you need to hold for longer, then maybe you'll hold to the potential of seeing 20, 50, 100,000. 150,000, those crazy high numbers that people think it could potentially go to, which if there are that many amount of synthetic shares out there, it's entirely possible that it could get to those high numbers. Do we know for sure? Absolutely not. Oh, what's up, Vigilante STV? How you doing? I'm doing all right. Oops. Should I be worried about Robinhood not transferring my shares to another brokerage? I mean, there's a couple of different arguments surrounding the whole Robinhood thing. Like, yeah, they've definitely done a lot of shady things in the past, but if one broker cuts off the buy button due to this clearinghouse issue, then other brokers are going to turn it off as well. So even if you're at a broker that still allows you to buy and the other brokers turn it off, the price is still going to be affected by it. So does it matter really? Not really. But if you want it for peace of mind and you want to be able to directly route your orders to the exchange versus having it get routed through a dark pool, if that's something you want to do, then Fidelity, I believe E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, and a couple of other different brokerages allow you to do that. Matt's Totally Real Oil. Thanks, Vix. Just stopped in to hit the like. Gotta go. Thank you so much, man. Riptide Redemption. How you doing? Damn, he just said it's only going to 1K, says Riptide. No, that's not what I said. Get Liquid IV in bulk at Costco. Fred, I wish. There's no Costco around here. I have my floor and won't sell for a penny less. I'm retiring off this, says Jay. There you go. As long as you stick to your plan, you're all set. Can hedge funds keep shorting the stock under a short squeeze? Not sure if this is even a good tactical move. Music Boy, this brings up a very important concept, and you'll see where I'm going with this at one point. But if we see AMC squeeze first and the shorts start to cover, awesome, cool. It could lead to a market correction if there's that many synthetic shares out there and they need to sell off a lot of their other positions. And that would take some time due to this new NSCC 010 and 803 rules. The second thing, though, is that if it is an outside factor that causes the market to basically capitulate and have a 2008-like scenario, well, here's what happened in 2008 with shorting. Look what happened in 2008 when everything started to freak out. For immediate release, September 19th, 2008, the SEC halts short selling of financial stocks to prevent investors and markets. Well, what if they do that again? What if they turn off the ability to short stocks in the event of a major market correction? Now, here's the other thing. This is September 19th, 2008. Let me pull up something else for you guys. I need to pull up the Volkswagen chart. Let's look at when Volkswagen squeeze. This is something that we all should know. Where is the chart? Here it is. So Volkswagen, after they turned off the ability to short and that disclosure of ownership came out, September 19th, right around here, pretty significant run up, came back down, shot up over 400, came all the way back down to 200, and then boom. So if we see so here's the thing where it's like, oh, market correction or AMC squeeze first. A lot of people bring up that negative beta argument, which I've done in the past. And after further, like, just logically thinking about it, it may not even matter if AMC has that -4 beta that In-Front Analytics is showing. And In-Front Analytics is a pretty reliable source. That's what a lot of the hedge funds use. It's a heavily manipulated stock. You can't really use traditional measures of determining where the price of the stock is going to go if a certain event happens based on a certain indicator like beta, which is essentially the correlation of a stock to the overall market. A negative beta means it has a negative correlation. So if AMC has a negative beta and the market goes down, AMC should go up. It probably won't apply. If the overall market sells off, the shorts are just going to pile in even more into AMC. But if they turn off the ability to short, if the major market event happens and it's really big, well, they're not going to be able to push it down anymore. So VW is different, not as many investors. Barry Bonds, yeah. The reason why I compare AMC to Volkswagen is because of the catalyst for a squeeze. AMC has the potential to do what I call a disclosure of ownership squeeze. So if it ever comes out that retail investors in AMC own a significant amount more than is supposed to be out there, or even a significant enough amount of the total shares that actually exist, that's exactly what happened with Volkswagen. I compared GameStop to Overstock because of the NFT crypto. Can GameStop and AMC go at the same time? Absolutely. Do you think that the GPU shortage in the semiconductors is affecting GME by slowing down production of console sales? Does it affect, in fundamental sense, GME and AMC to the moon? Yeah, but again, we aren't really looking at fundamentals. Like, yeah, good fundamental news is always better than having bad fundamental news for any company, and especially in this short squeeze play. And that's what I think a lot of people fail to realize. But this semiconductor shortage has been going on a long time. Also, we have GameStop's earnings coming up sometime over the next 4 weeks. They have to confirm the date, but we are going to see GameStop earnings coming soon-ish. There's been a lot of speculation about that NFT crypto. It was supposed to happen or get announced on July 14th. Didn't happen, but a good time to announce it is an earnings call. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just saying that GameStop's earnings call It has the potential to be a decent catalyst. Who knows, though? Thoughts on FAZ? Isn't that a finance triple levered one? Yeah, Direction Daily Financial Bear 3X ETF. If the market goes down, bank stocks are most likely going to get hit really hard. So FAZ would be a good play if we get confirmation that the market is going down. STV, are you being held hostage? No. What day is GameStop's earnings? I've seen it projected to be like between the 8th and the 10th of September, but there has not been a confirmed date yet. Buy video games, people. Yeah, I'm gonna go out at one point. I have to buy a gift for somebody. It's gonna be a Nintendo Switch and then a bunch of games to go along with it. So I'm gonna go help out those GMEers over there. Blink twice. No, I'm not blinking twice. I'm not being held hostage. Thoughts on EXR? Thoughts on Lucid? I don't like Lucid. That's the one EV company that I don't like. The reason why I don't like Lucid is because they haven't when they were starting to when they had their SPAC and when they were about to come out with everything, the amount of random speculation about who they were working with and what they were gonna do was too high. It was just too high. They're also the amount of vehicles that they were expecting to be able to produce and sell is very unreasonable, in my opinion. If they can prove themselves to the market and really generate good earnings going forward in terms of vehicle sales, technology they're putting into the cars, then yeah, it could be a great company. But at the current time, it's if there's a scale between Nikola and Tesla, and 50 is in the middle. So if 1 is Nikola and 100 is Tesla, it's below 50 in my opinion. So it's more leaning towards Nikola, even though they have a lot of good people on their team. They just haven't proven themselves to me. If you aren't being held hostage, why do you have subscribers only on comments? Because I don't want the random shills coming in here and then I get angry and then we get distracted. Speaking of SPACs, Mudrick's top SPAC failed. Oh boy, it's tough for them. Rollison is a snake too. Yeah, it's something's fishy there. Stonko Tracker is reporting there are currently no shares available to borrow. This means AMC will have open runway to run its course up. No. I don't know who that is, but no, that's not true. Stonko Tracker gets their info from one broker. Let's pull that up right now because I have not seen that yet. That could have been at one point during the day too. Available shares to borrow, I see as 25,000. Today, at one point, when we look at Stonko Tracker, there were 0 shares to borrow. Then it jumped up to 25,000, but the borrow fee rate is crazy low. Let's pull up iBorrowDesk. Can I turn this to dark mode? Thank you. iBorrowDesk, AMC. iBorrowDesk is reporting 55,000 with a borrow fee rate of 0.9%. Same here. So they're only getting their data from one broker. If they're getting their data from one broker, well, there's a lot of other brokers out there. And we saw a lot of even when we see the amount of shares on iBorrowDesk or Stonko Tracker go to 0 or 25,000 or some crazy low number, we still see the numbers update on Ortex of shares going out on loan. And the reason for that is that Ortex is getting their data from 85% of the market. Let's see. Nobody is selling this thing. Shout out Jackson. Analyst says AMC shorts will lose so much money tomorrow. That would be great. I think Unusual Whales said they lost like 250 million today. Let me look. Let's see how much the shorts lost just today. Let's see. I know it's on here somewhere. Here, oh, it's a lot more than I thought. All right. Here's Unusual Whales. Shout out to Unusual Whales. They have a really cool platform to track a bunch of different things. Unusual options activity, senators trades, dark pool activity. There's a lot of other stuff on their platform as well. I've used it in the past. There's a free version on their Twitter and their app. But breaking with AMC up 6.8% and GME up 3.5%, it is estimated that short sellers lost around $390 million if covered. Chris, thank you so much for the super. What is your non-financial advice on SLGG? I've been holding since March and I'm hearing it's heavily shorted. I have not looked into that stock yet. We can pull it up though. Super League Gaming since March. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's been on a significant downtrend over this last year. I think I heard a noise over here, though. Nope. No blue bloops yet. What would a high borrow rate be? David, like we've seen over 90% on iBorrowDesk in the past. And right now it's at 0.9%. And that's the yearly rate that I would have to pay. SV, do you think today's solid movement was because of the Pfizer FDA approval? It could be. It definitely could be. Ken says, according to the numbers at Ortex, there's approximately 118 million total shares that can be loaned. That, hold up. No. Yeah, no. So when we look at the utilization, what we would have to do is if 90% of the shares that institutions are willing to lend have been lent out, we would probably have to do 106 divided by 0.9, and then we would get the total number, and then that number divide minus 106, and it's probably going to be about 30 million shares. Do the math. No, it's not 130 million shares available to borrow. If the shares on loan are 106 million and that accounts for 90%, there can't be more than 100. It would be, I'll tell you what the number is right now. It's like 10. It's like 10 million more shares left to borrow. Let's see. Finally, I know who Gary Gensler is. Matt's video earlier today answered the biggest mysterious question. There you go. Oh, total number of shares, not shares available to borrow. Yeah. Ken, there you go. I read that wrong. You're right. It's about 12 million shares that they can take out. But again, remember, there's returned shares, so shares that get added back into there, and then there's borrowed shares. So that number is cycling in and out every single day. I thought you said that there was, what was it? 118 million more shares available to go out on loan. Yeah, I read that wrong. Oh, Matt's duck suspenders. What's up, man? Yeah, I don't want to see that P word. There's a lot of P words we can't say in here. No, we're not. I'm not saying that word. Wife changing moolah is September or October. Steve, be careful. If your wife owns AMC shares, she might swap you out too. Hey, Vic's been keeping an eye on Mitsubishi Heavy Industries recently. What do you think of the price action worth jumping in? I haven't taken a look at it, but I can definitely take a look at that and then get back to you. When and if AMC squeezes, do you think? What do you think would be the smartest way to sell shares? What order type? Stop losses can get very risky, especially with the halts that we're expecting to see. If we see a bunch of halts, then most likely they could go stop loss hunting, which would basically have your position sold out, even though the stock is not necessarily at your stop loss yet. That's dangerous. Limit sells essentially say, I want to sell at this price or higher. Let's see. Hopefully the buy sell buttons won't disappear. If they take away the sell button, the stock will rocket. It will shoot. The sell button. That's what I was talking about, not the buy button. If they take away the sell button, the stock is going to go crazy. Because if all of these institutions need to buy our shares and we cannot sell them, well, then it takes, let's just say there's 100 shares that they would have to buy back. And let's say that retail investors own 80 of them. Well, if retail can't sell that 80, they would have to buy the available shares back 5 times. So if there's already synthetic shares out there, then they would have to buy it back even more. So it would jack up the buying volume and it would mess with the supply and demand equilibrium. Oh, who is Gary Gensler's in the chat? There we go. Where's my love? Road the Legacy. Is he still on vacation? Yeah, I think he's still on vacation. Is it probable that I'll become a millionaire with 2,800 shares? Depends at what price you can stomach holding to. That's the other thing that I don't think a lot of people get. If we see the stock go to 500, 1,000, and then we see it drop, imagine what that's going to feel like in your mind. Like you're going to see so much money just disappear from your account all at once, and then it could potentially come back, but you don't know. And that's why I want everybody to have a plan. Like this, like right now, let's just say we shot to 1,000 this week, just for example, and then we closed Friday at 1,000. But let's say on Monday, somehow, if the halts allow for this to happen, we go all the way down to 200 a share. You're going to be very upset that you didn't get to sell at 1,000. But that could just be one of those last shakeouts where, well, there's buying volume drying up because the first round of shorts covered, and now you're just sitting there waiting, but you don't know if the squeeze is over. There's going to be a lot of FUD getting spread around, and that's why I want everybody to have their own plan. Ken, thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate it. Thanks for going back and rereading my original message. I love numbers and hate FUD. Facts, not fiction. You're awesome, my man. You're awesome, Ken. Thank you so much. I'm holding for at least 5 all-time high. These rips will dip. They will cover more and rip. Eddie, I agree. That's why when we saw this price movement from like 10 to 77 and all the way back down to where we're at right now at 36, in my opinion, that's going to be nothing compared to the volatility that we would see when we're squeezing. Like I'll pull up Volkswagens again. Look what happened. Right here, around 200, shoots up to about 300, comes back down to, let's say, 250, then goes all the way up to like 425, then back down into this $200-300 range, back up to 400, back down all the way to 200, people would be upset, and then it rips to 1,000. We don't know what we're going to see. It's going to be insane. In your opinion, what do you think more or less the price will be at during the highest during the squeeze? Joseph, no idea, man. Nobody can give you a decent understanding of where the price will be. Just nobody knows. You are so smart for such a young dude. Thank you. When the shorts start covering, would Ortex be up to date, or is it still a 2-day delay? This isn't a delay. These are live updates right here. The updates at the top are daily updates, but the live updates down here are live. So we will see that estimated short interest, and it's entirely possible that we see it tank, but it's not logical that we would see it tank, if that makes sense. If we see it really shoot down, the next couple of days, we should see it shoot right back up, because if the price is rocketing, we're going to be seeing like crazy parabolic moves. We're going to be seeing the shorts covering. But if we see the price get up to those crazy high levels, there's going to be other institutions wanting to come in to take short positions. It's only logical. They see the stock rip up. They obviously know that at that point, it's probably crazily overvalued fundamentally. And those other institutions might think the top is in. They'll keep shorting, and then the short interest will come back up. So Ortex isn't really going to give us the best understanding of where we're at in terms of the squeeze. That's why you got to stick to your plan. Figure out when you want to sell, at how much you're going to need. Execute your plan, and you're good to go. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. How long will it take them to cover? We also don't know that as well. We don't know how long it's going to take, when it's going to happen, or how high it's going to go. Nepal is going to buy out a dispensary in Vegas. There you go. I would really think the price should at least be more than VW's, because AMC is even crazier. It will be the father of all short squeezes. Well, don't forget about GameStop too. Thanks, Vix. Love your channel. Matt, thank you, man. Nando says STV, I just want to party like the guys in Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, depending on what you want to do, you can always come visit me and we can have a good time. Kip Lionel, I 100% disagree. Oh, Tabasco Dave, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate it, man. Just dropping in to say hi. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man. Do you think GME will hit higher than AMC? Well, yeah, most likely it's going to have a higher dollar amount when it squeezes, but that doesn't mean your position will be worth less. You have to take into account the amount of shares that are actually out there. So like, yeah, it's entirely possible that GameStop gets to a higher level, but at the current time, GameStop's trading at 164, AMC's trading at 36. So you can buy more shares of AMC right now than you could GameStop if you have a set amount of money. Joseph says, after the squeeze, I'm going to have all the women I never had because I was broke. Go for it, Joseph. Have a great time. What year in college are you? I'm going to be a senior in like a week. How many days was the Volkswagen squeeze? I mean, if you count these moves back here, it was like 2 months until it really hit the peak. GME AMC is now the squeeze ETF? Hey, could be. Waiting on the FOAS. Turtle has a plan in place. It's hard not knowing what possible highs we could hit. Yeah, less than 0.01% of AMC shareholders will hit the top. It's like hitting the lottery twice. you've kind of already hit the lottery by being able to get into AMC so low if you were able to, and you rode that first run up, and you know that the potential for where this can go. And if you're able to top ticket, awesome for you. You crushed it. But I really don't think that there's going to be more than 10 people that are able to do it. It's like all luck at that point. Did Citadel file bankruptcy? Where are you seeing that? No, Citadel did not file bankruptcy. How much cash could Kenny G stash if Kenny G had to stash cash? That was funny. Turtle's average is super low. There you go. Yeah, mine's a little bit higher at this point. Kip Lionel. What would thank you, Vegas. Yeah, we're not talking about that. If people with a fair amount of shares sell around 1K or so, would that stop the MOAS? No, because if we're thinking about MOAS, then we're thinking, oh, there's a crazy amount of synthetic shares out there, and they're going to have to buy back our shares multiple times in order to cover their positions. So if there's people selling, well, it doesn't really matter. It's just feeding into them covering. Also, if you guys don't mind just dropping a like on the video on the stream, it just helps us get some more people in here. We are half hour away from power half hour, so that always gets fun. But thank you to you guys who already did like the video and who are going to. Is the article about Amazon buying AMC FUD? Ham. Yeah, if you watched my video from earlier today, yes. I've seen it all over YouTube. Who is taught? Oh my God. Citadel did not. Unless there's actual like bankruptcy filings, they didn't file bankruptcy. Let's see. No. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see anything about that. You saw it on Twitter? All right, somebody send it to me. Somebody shoot me a DM with that tweet and I'll look at it. Citadel makes so much money from market making, no way they're broke. I agree. If you're saying that they're bankrupt, like filing for bankruptcy because they pulled that 500 million, no, they have 58 billion under management right now. They're not bankrupt. I plan on. All right, let me look. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, they're making crazy amount of money. They're not going bankrupt. If anybody has a source for that, DM it to me on Twitter at shortthevix1, or Instagram, also shortthevix1. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Ben says that's 100% what they're seeing. 500 mil is just a drop in the bucket. Also, remember the market maker and hedge funds are two different entities. Very important distinction right there. Thank you, Ben. Let's see. Citadel buying Amazon so they can buy AMC. No. Ken, thank you so much for another Superman. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all you guys who send those in. I really appreciate it. You guys don't have to, and it really means a lot. Ken says, can we add slogans to your stream? FUD busters, no FUD zone, or get the FUD out? Ken, I think that should be the new merch, honestly. We'll do like a Ghostbusters one, the no FUD zone, and then get the FUD out. I think that's what we do next. Right now on the store, it's just like my logo, and then I have another hoodie that says short low, cover high. But Ken, I think you're onto something there. Thank you. Yeah, they just sent 15 billion to the Cayman Islands. Oh, avocado, I agree. Get the FUD out of here. Yeah. I'm all for it. Ken, all right. I'll work on that. That'll be my weekly project. When do you think this is going to moon? I just started a transfer from WB, so Webull to Fidelity. I mean, I honestly think it's going to take an extended period of time to play out. So if you don't initiate the transfer during the squeeze, you're probably fine. It's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be a one-day event. Yeah, 446 billion. And guess what? That assets under management number that you see doesn't include cash. So they could be stockpiling cash too, and they could have a couple billion more dollars just sitting around in cash ready to go. And well, that 500 million from Melvin is going to come in cash. They had that 15 billion sent to the Cayman Islands. They have a lot more money that isn't being reflected on those 13Fs. Oh boy. 446 trillion. Oh no, it's billion. It's not trillion. BlackRock has the highest AUM and it's like 9 trillion. But their Aladdin trading platform controls like 20 trillion. So BlackRock has a crazy high control on the market as a whole. All right, let me see. What do we got? Yeah. Okay. Joe, thank you so much for sending me that. Yeah, I think it's a misinterpretation. It's a different firm that's filing for bankruptcy. Yeah, it's 446 billion. Ooh, apocalypse. Okay, so for the FUD Busters, it would just be like a Ghostbusters theme. That would be really cool. So if it's like FUD Busters instead of like Ghostbusters, it would be FUD Busters. And that's the one that I've got right now. And then I think I can make a no FUD zone one with just like a circle and a thing around it. And then get the FUD out of here. I'm not really sure on that one, but that would be pretty cool. How's the option chain looking for AMC and GameStop? Option chain. Basically nothing this week. The next big week I'm looking for is the week ending September 17th. That's like if we see a really big rip up before then, that's going to be some big gamma potential. And it's going to cost these institutions a lot more money than what we saw on this run up. SCB during the squeeze. What will it look like? Hypothetically, major swings, plus or minus hundreds, thousands. Learned so much from you. Appreciate all your work. Stig, thank you. We're probably going to see just crazy percentage gains and significant sell-offs. We just have to be really mentally prepared for all of that. Are my comments visible? Yep. What's in the center of Fudbusters? I have some suggestions. Ben, you know where to contact me, buddy. Let's see. I'll stick with you in TMI to keep cool, calm, and collected. Appreciate the response. Thank you. Oh, what's up, Norm? How you doing? I had $1 in my account, so I got a SPY 355 put. If you hit that, that will be crazy. But it's most likely you're probably gonna lose that $1. Question. You mentioned only about 10 people will probably sell, will probably get the high price. If nobody sells, why roughly such a low number? Because not everybody is gonna hold to the crazy high amount. It's just not logical. Like, you have to think about the psychological aspects of people seeing all of a sudden 100,000, 300,000, 500, a million, 2 million, 10 million, these crazy numbers in their account, and you think they're not going to take it. A lot of these people probably are. But that's why I'm saying you would have to know when the top is going to be in order to top tick it. So it's all luck at that point. So it doesn't really matter. It's like, oh, probably 10 people are going to top tick it. That's just a rough estimate that I have. Does it mean that you're not going to make a crazy amount of money when the squeezes? No, not at all. It's just you're probably not going to top tick it. Oh, what's up, Rhode Island? I hope all of your precious metal storing is going good. Yeah, Rhode Island. We're getting hit by that hurricane, I guess. I haven't really seen it. I walked outside once today and it was raining pretty hard. There's also going to be a ton of FOMO buying, but once we get to the high enough levels, the institutions and retail is going to stop buying. The buying pressure from retail is going to be gone. The institutional buying pressure going to be gone. The buying pressure is going to come in from the shorts covering. That's where we're going to see the buying pressure from, because when the shorts cover, they're buying back shares. So that's where that buying pressure comes from. That pushes us up even higher. Hurricane Henry. Hey, SCV, Astro said he wants you to hit him up about being in his show for a few one day. Absolutely. I'll definitely pop on. Are you selling on the way down, or do you have a price target? Also, do you believe in selling on the way down? I believe that everybody should do what they need to do in order to make the most money for themselves and be perfectly fine financially. Does it matter if you sell on the way up? No. Does it matter if you sell on the way down? No. To me, it doesn't. Just take care of yourself. Everybody asks the same questions. Nobody knows the date, how long it will last, or how high. Yeah, that's just one of the things that, like, we just get used to. It's like, oh, we're just going to answer the same questions all the time. It's fine. That's our like responsibility. Do you think MOAS will shoot the price up quickly, or will they have to cover over time? Dixie, I think it's going to take weeks or months in order for this to fully play out. Like, it's going to just be aggressive price movements. Like, we could see it settle down for a week, but I think it's going to take weeks or months for it to play out. That's just my speculation. But again, nobody knows, like, once it starts, how long it's going to take. SCV, get your CFA exam done so you can stop being mandated to say not financial advice. Do you know what happens when you take any one of those exams and you work in an institution? I go bye-bye on YouTube. I can't do this anymore. Compliance will say, nope, can't do that. Her trick question, the hurricane's name was STV. Yeah. It's past 3 a.m. over here. What are you, in the UK? I'm staying awake to join this live stream. Thanks for all your answers and the information you have provided. Music Boy, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Do you think that a gamma squeeze will trigger the short squeeze, or vice versa? Gamma squeezes are usually like they're short-lived. But in my opinion, I think if we're going to see another type of price movement like we saw in June, we are one or two, if they can find a way to really get around these margin requirements, we're one or two of those giant price movements away from the big shorts having to cover, and that can trigger the giant price movements. On the next big run up, will the smaller shorts start to cover? Yeah, they will. We're going to see some shorts start to cover because not all of them are able to maintain these margin requirements, finagle these relationships with the banks, and mess around with these different margin requirements. Gamma squeezes happen when there are a lot of call options out of the money that run in the money. As that happens, market makers have to hedge for them, buying the underlying stocks for the contracts. LY, you are spot on there. The Chick-fil-A exam. I would love to take the Chick-fil-A exam. Oh, what's my major? I'm finance. Let's see. Ooh. Ouch. Let's see. You lose all your hair? Why did I lose all my hair? Check your Twitter DM. Oh, Rhode Island, I will. Oh, that is really cool. That is very cool. Why is Chipotle stock so high? Because Chipotle is the best. Do we have any catalysts this week? I mean, we have some like not great catalysts in terms of like Jackson Hole. Also, guys, I'm going to let's see. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. And we're back. Hello, hello. Let's see. Everybody stop chatting to freak him out. That's not very nice. Well, all right, let's see. What did I miss? What were you guys saying? That Chipotle? Yeah, right as we start talking about Chipotle, I got to go to the bathroom. He's throwing up right now, probably nervous about going back to school. I just don't care. Lamp on. I should have put on, lamp off. That would have been more fun. Let's see. Oh my. J Beebs, thank you so much for that giant super, man. I really appreciate it. Good luck on your senior year. Buy yourself a few beers. J Beebs, I definitely will, man. Thank you so much for that big super. I really appreciate it. Original question, how high do you think AMC will go? Robert, that's a silly question. Wow, that was a big super. Thank you so much, man. AMC, I like the stock. We like the stock. Let's see, what else did I miss? Chipotle is a fancier Taco Bell. Nando, be very careful. I will time you out for Chipotle FUD. Stopped eating Chipotle after the second outbreak in the news a few years back. Hey, Steve, guess what I did during the Chipotle outbreak? I kept eating there. And you know what happened to me? Nothing. I was fine. I was fine for the entire time, but there was only one time that I gotten like ill from Chipotle, and it was not fun. And it wasn't during the bad times. With that super, you can now order avocado at Chipotle. Yeah, TMI is not going to like that one. AMC is going to 5, the 5 moons of Pluto. Yeah, it is. As for me, I like the stock. Shout out DFV. I wonder if he is among us in disguise. That would be pretty cool. I don't think so, honestly. I feel like he's the type of guy to just kind of go off the grid. It'd be really funny though if he was like STV's protein shake or the Shark the Vix Twitter account. Like that would be hilarious. Futures are up for tomorrow. AMC will run. Gary, futures, I mean, we've kind of seen this over the last year. A lot of the time, they don't mean anything. Like we could see futures go up and we open red the next day. We have no idea what's going to happen. If you're trading futures, then that's great for you. You're making some money. But nobody really knows until pre-market and when the market opens what we're really going to do. Chris, I see you. You're pushing it there. We're not going to have any of this Chipotle slander. Yeah, if we do a meetup, it's going to be at an AMC, but we're only going to be able to eat at a Chipotle. That's it. It's just what's going to happen. Petey, geez, man, thank you so much for that big super. Have some have some tacos on me. Petey, thank you so much, man. I definitely will. It's funny because I'm Hispanic, but I've never been to Chipotle, never tried it. You should. It's really good. Yeah, Petey, thank you so much, man. What bank do I need to use for my MOAS tendies? Any bank that you feel comfortable with. Say what you want about STV and his charts, but leave Chipotle alone. Yeah, we got 6 minutes till power half hour. We'll let it fly. Guac for the win. Yep. Berkshire share price dropped. Yeah, Berkshire will tend to do that. It'll act like any other stock. Chris gonna get his wrench taken away? No, Chris is just messing around. 1111 Mr. Simon, same here, Hispanic and never had Chipotle before. Come on, guys. It's good. When you become a multimillionaire this fall, Will you still complete your senior year? Yeah. I'll just have a terrible GPA. I'll just be having fun. Like I like won't go to a lot of my classes. I'll like study and take the test and like try a little bit. But if we squeeze and I'm crushing it, school's gonna get put a little bit on the back burner, depending on how much money I'm able to pull out. If that makes sense. Like if it's really crazy money, then yeah, I'll be chilling. I'll just like relax, slow down a little bit on the YouTube, still post for you guys. But yeah, if I really crush it, then I'll put school on the back burner. Oh, what's up, Burhi? SVV, check out this rock song called. Oh, I'll definitely do that. Definitely finish. I will finish. Don't worry. I will get my degree, Mom. All right, let's check this Ortex updated. Flickers around. Ooh, I think it changed a little bit. Went from 17.85 to 17.82. Doesn't really matter. Ben, I know Ben's in here. When are we supposed to get the exchange reported again? Is it this week or next week? Because the last time we got it was August 10th, and it's the 23rd. So we could be getting it this week. We could be getting it tomorrow, couldn't we, Ben? What's crazy money in your book? I don't know. 5 million or more? Yeah, exchange reported, I think, this week. There we go. Yeah, shout out to J Beebs and PD. Thank you so much for those supers. Let's see. SB, come to LA and try our tacos and burritos, and you'll understand why Hispanics do not eat Chipotle. Robert, I'll have to do that sometime. Will hedge funds drop the price hard right before they begin to cover? Yeah, they're gonna try to cover at the lowest price, because once the first big over leveraged short on AMC starts to cover, then like it's just gonna set everything off. Because once a really big short covers, it jacks up the price. Then gamma, FOMO pushes the price up even more. We have the smaller shorts really getting blown out. We have the other big, larger short positions starting to cover. And then that's really when things start to get interesting. What are your thoughts on Astro's trend DD? I think it's entirely possible that it's accurate. It does look like technical indicators. So again, with a highly manipulated stock, you can't always use past trends to predict future events. But with what we've seen today, it looks like what he's been saying is on the money. So I'm really excited to see what happens towards the end of this week and going into next week to see if we really have that big run up. Because if that's right and we see that like algorithmic trading with the fractals, that's going to be awesome. Natsuka, thank you so much for the super. I don't even know if I could read this. For a box of blank. Enjoy being back at school. And that's for all you do. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Aiden, thank you so much for these supers, guys. Giving you money before inflation makes it worthless, and we all have to buy Chipotle with AMC shares. Thanks for sticking with the community. Yeah, honestly, if I have to spend my AMC shares at Chipotle, I won't be eating Chipotle. So that's where I value my AMC shares, if that makes sense. But thank you guys so much for those supers. Avocado, what did you say? What did you say that I had to tune you out? Yeah, shout out to Aiden and Natsuka. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God. Now I'm confused. The mods are switching profile pictures now. You guys are nuts. Wasn't El Salvador trying to make AMC shares legal tender? What? I guess you don't talk fast and skip class. I talk fast sometimes. Like what Trey says is like we talk fast and don't skip class. I talk fast sometimes, but I can't guarantee that I'm not going to be skipping class. Just putting that out there. SCV, will you give me a hug, Chris? I could use a hug. Sure. Could be ice creams. It could be. Don't go to college. I did it and it ruined my mind. I just learned to tune all the BS out. Fly High loves this chat. We love having you in it. I think I saw STV playing first base at the Little League World Series today. Nando, that's a perfect start to kick off Power Half Hour. STV, can you give me a kiss? Timothy, no. I think we should step back and try to disprove what we already believe in so that we can look at the squeeze from another angle. The real black hood. I agree. When I started talking about AMC and really going down the rabbit hole, every single time I would find something, I would just assume it was incorrect and have to prove it true and figure out how we were getting screwed. Like, how are we wrong? That's how I framed it in the beginning. And I was really trying to figure out, okay, well, what am I looking at here? And how could my interpretation of this just be completely off? And then talking to other people, it's like, yeah, it really looks like we've been right all along. Now, the next thing that we are looking to be right about is what's going to happen with the market, but there's a wild card involved, the Fed. We don't know what they're going to do. They could keep rates low. They could not taper. They could really, honestly, just keep hiding the inflation problem. And we honestly, and even if the market starts to sell off, they could just reverse that taper real quick and just start buying assets again. SCB, I fell on my knee. No. Yeah, it is Power Half Hour. Let's do it. What's your take on metamaterials? I've heard it has a really high short interest, so it definitely has squeeze potential. But again, same thing I say with any of these other potential squeeze stocks. They don't have the retail investor support that AMC and GameStop do. Knowing the Fed, they'll kick it down the line again and again and again. Yeah. So what could potentially happen is there's going to be an outside catalyst that they can't control. And that's going to be what causes something to happen. Because if it's in their control, I don't think they're going to let it go. They're just going to keep kicking this can down the road because they don't want another March of 2020 to happen again. And they want to be able to, even if it does, they want to be able to control it and basically prop it back up. Maybe a whale comes in with a big buy. Yeah, that's not really going to, I mean, China could come in and just buy up a crazy amount of shares. This chat is wild. Yeah, I mean, kooky. It is Power Half Hour now. We let it ride here. We mix in all the AMC stuff, the DD and the analysis, but we also like to have some fun before we all go off to bed. I went out on a first date and talked about AMC all night. Let's just say it's her loss. Yeah, well, I've tried to. I have like a weird. When I was in let's see, January through July, I was like all focused on like YouTube and AMC in the market, and I couldn't turn it off in my head, and that's not good. So I'm getting there. I'm able to like kind of turn it off now and take a break on focus on other things. But I don't know. I know both are squeezes, but are you leaning more towards normal squeeze or do you believe in MOA synthetics? I mean, with the FTDs and the threshold list, it would make sense that there's counterfeit shares out there. There's really no way to prove it unless we could do a say vote, like one of those verified brokerage votes, and every single shareholder, institutions and retail across the world voted on the shares that they owned that qualified. Other than that, there's really no way to prove it, which kind of stinks, but Did you see that AMC does not have negative beta anymore? Will that affect the squeeze? Bullish? No. Because even if it did have negative beta, they would still push it down when we were squeezing, because it's a highly manipulated stock. If the market starts to sell off and they sense any type of weakness, they're just going to try to push it down even more. On exams, you're just going to put on the date line, no dates. That's funny. TMI's avocado says girlfriend is so done with AMC options and crypto. For the first time, she lost her temper this week. Hey, TMI's avocado. That's relatable. What about SNDL? Isn't that one in the same boat? Yeah, it could be. They have a weird they have a weird business model now. They're doing a lot of like private equity stuff, I believe. Can you explain utilization thanks in advance? It's just the shares that institutions are willing to lend out, like the amount of shares that they can get their hands on versus the amount of shares that they've lent out already. Buddy, thank you so much for the super. Coffee for the morning, STV. Keep it up. Buddy, thank you so much for that super. Yeah, beta isn't representative of how it will act in the market crash. Right now, nobody is facing liquidity concerns. Ben, I would say the broad market is starting to get worried about liquidity concerns. Maybe not directly on AMC, but large banking and financial institutions, I believe, are. But yeah, you're right on the beta isn't representative of how it will act in a market crash. Forgive me, not a crypto expert, but isn't Bitcoin in a way serialized? Couldn't the same thing be done with shares for the future? It honestly, like if you had those, like all of the transactions were public on the blockchain, they wouldn't really be able to mess around with the stock this much. Ho, we got a special guest. Bloop.
Bloop, bloop.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, my man. How's it going? For second night all alone.
I know.
Hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
What's going on, people?
Where's the talking cat? We have something. We have the next best thing. We have TMI, the masked investor, not the talking cat, but the dude who invests, who wears a mask,
who also does talk to your cat. If you would,
there you go.
9. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
you're
know if
good.
that's a guy or girl.
You can let it rip.
Who asked that question? Male or female?
Trey's cat Titan.
I don't know. What is that? I think it's a male cat. Does Trey know yet?
Does what?
Does Trey know if the cat's male or female yet?
I think he thinks it's a boy.
Okay. Cool. I missed that kitty cat. What up, JD Gaz? Hansard. Following leader.
Says he came by strictly for Power Half Hour. Yep.
Listen, Power Half Hour is a fun time. It could possibly be the highlight of my day.
It's fun.
What you guys go over today?
We just kind of went over a lot of basic stuff, answered questions.
Nice. TMI, I was kicked out of your live because I mentioned review torque issue with the Reddit community. I was just talking to him about that.
I was talking to him today too.
Oh man. You guys talk about that already too?
I don't think I timed people out. I just explained to people why the comments that they were making were just misinformed.
Oh man, that is a wild. He's a wild boy, man. He's a wild boy.
He's like, I don't understand why people were like, oh, he's price anchoring. It's like, no, he's not.
So this is what I told. This is 100% what I told him, and I won't share what I speak to people about offline, but this part stuff that I've said before in the past. I guess I've said it publicly, right? And then don't worry, I'm not gonna say anything crazy for your channel. Don't worry. We are currently, as AMC shareholders, those who are diamond handing, those who are, silverbacks, if you will, currently 1 of 5 or 1 of 4 or 1 of 3. meaning we equate to 20%, 33%, potentially 25% of the total amount of retail investors that will enter the stock once we start to rip.
Mm-hmm.
Considering ourselves with 10, 15, or 25% of people is nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. It is literally the least of our problems. What people should be focused on is reiterating or going back through details like the fundamentals of the thesis, because there are going to be new apes. The amount of apes that are currently here, we're just going to be 20% of the total apes are actually here once you start squeezing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make sure we spread the word. So people saying, oh, don't do this and don't do that. It's like when people are coming in, they don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to see that. If someone's saying they're going to sell at 5,000 and you're just getting into a stock that's at $36, you're like, oh, okay, hold on a second. Like if we just figure, yeah, all right, look, we don't have to agree. Cool. Some people are going to hold way longer than that. Cool. Do you? But come on, people. You have to get ready for the new apes coming in here.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about if people say they want to sell at $50. I've had conversations with people that tell me that all the time, or they have things that they have to do. Okay, cool. Do you do whatever is best for you? That's fine. For every one person that leaves, there's going to be 5 more that come in.
Exactly.
With that one person leaving, I'm trying to worry about the 5 people coming in. That's why that's why everything is cool, calm, collected. Because there's always more people coming in. 24% of Americans traded AMC and GME in January. There's only 4 million people holding right now, or maybe there's 5. It's like there's still like another 60 million people to come in. Like,
oh my, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so that's my opinion on that.
TMI, why does it sound like you're in a bathtub? Because he's actually Margot Robbie explaining stuff to you guys very simply.
That is exactly where my mind went too. I'm also, it's funny you said that. My kitten is playing in my office right now. So
what are you talking about?
Around. My cat is playing in my office right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Your cat's gonna short you. It
definitely will. Loves playing with the wires, and I'm always afraid that it's just gonna accidentally press the off button and everything's just gonna go do do do.
Dude, you know what happened today? It was like an hour before the stream, and all of a sudden, or I think it was like 40 minutes before the stream, my internet cut out again, and I was like, oh no.
The worst. It's the race against time to set back up.
I know. I was like, oh, hopefully I just clicked a couple buttons and it's been good for this entire time. But one day it is going to happen on the stream where it's just going to cut. And I'm going to be like, oh, God.
What I like about Restream is that it gives you a solid, 15 seconds to get your stuff together.
Yeah.
Like you have 15 seconds in order to hop back on that stream or it's all over.
Yeah.
It's tough. It is tough. Did I get the wine? No, I didn't get the wine shits this weekend. What is that?
The what?
The wine shits. Wow. Y'all came out to play tonight. Okay.
Oh, yeah. They're funny. They're going. You guys are hilarious tonight. Antics, you guys always say some funny stuff, but tonight it's funny. Tonight
Antics always trying to project his weekend life onto us.
Antics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Antics is a wild boy. I can't wait to meet Antics.
Yeah. Well,
Antics, don't you live around where I'm at?
Oh, don't do that.
I feel like he's been where I'm at, but doesn't live here anymore.
Be careful now. Oh, hold on. I have a grain thing. All right. Does this sound better now?
Can you speak again?
Mic check, mic check.
Oh, you're 100% better now.
Oh, I got new switches and stuff on the back of my mic. I didn't even realize that. Interesting.
It always sounds better when you're on the stream, like your stream.
Oh, I cook up my mic. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I got the illegal substances for the mic. The banned substances, like the steroids for the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do any. Yeah, no mic testing over there. Never. I'm in Houston, Texas, baby.
Darn. That's too bad.
Darn.
Is it a Blue Yeti? No, I got this freaking thing.
No, I have a Blue Yeti. Yeah, it is a Blue Yeti. That is fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Yes, it is. And I have this grain dial on the back of it. That's probably how you knew. Yep, that's probably how you knew.
I just have a volume one.
See, I miss those days. I have a volume on the front, but it's only for the headphones. And on the back, I have 4 switches. It has like 3 or 4 different hearts. I'm like, guys, come on. Oh, wait, how many likes are we at right now?
649.
Let's get some freaking likes in here. At least let's get to 669, and then let's get to 700.
Exactly. Come on, it's power half hour. 669, we got it.
I need to go find your video so I can like it.
Thank you.
I'll be right back. Short the VIX.
That is me.
Thank you. Whoa, 666.
Oh, 667. We need 2 more. It's gonna go over. You guys messed it up.
I left it alone, people.
It went to 670. What are you guys doing? Come on.
I pressed dislike.
It doesn't cost you nothing to do.
Just for that.
All right, 700. Let's do it. You guys screwed it up.
What the heck is going on here? Oh. And I got you a new subscriber.
Oh, was it you? Or was it your burner?
It's the burner.
Gotcha.
The burner is solid out here. Okay. We are good to go. All right. So
I need this to squeeze so I can move the hell out of Minnesota. It's cold there. Those winters are no joke. That's basically Canada.
There you go. Take care, Ben. Have a good one, buddy.
Oh, later, Ben.
There you go, Kobe.
Nobody's really going wild right now on the.
I know Nando was going wild. He's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Nando and your avocado always go crazy.
I wonder if they have a little something going on.
They might. Vix, let TMI know he's invited when I buy that dispensary out in Vegas. Nepal, there you go. You hear that, TMI? You're invited.
I'm not gonna lie, I already invited myself, but I appreciate you actually saying an official invite now. It makes me feel a lot better. It was like 90 here today. Oh wow, toasty. Did you play the Tendy Man song?
What is that?
What song is that? Yeah. You guys, avocado means these nuts.
No, it doesn't.
It definitely does. Wait. Is T-Mi's avocado have a wrench?
No, they they put that in the front of every one of their comments, or they added it to their name, so it looks like they're a mod, but it doesn't show up as the blue.
That is some ghetto ass, but yet still gangster shit right there. Because on the restream chat, I can't tell.
You can't tell the difference?
No.
That's funny. Everybody's gonna start doing that now. It's gonna look like mods all over the place. That
is wild. Oh boy.
You should have a word with STV's Krusty's tube socks. Who's that? What are they saying? Where is this wild boy?
We need to see that bling on your ear. No, that's only for walking in the vineyard. That's not for Monday to Friday kind of talk. That's weekend vineyard talk.
Naked mods, synthetic mods.
Synthetic mods. Robert's like, me too.
I did not know laser stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. That's pretty cool if that's real. TMI STV hot fire. See, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's all about.
Don't know.
You see what Nando's telling you to Google?
Yo, okay. Where's Nando? Where is Nando?
Cody, thank you so much for the super. Do you think the squeeze starts before the end of the year? It's very possible, but we really don't know.
Like, That's what I want to understand. People say it's squeeze. I'm thinking, is there something like, what if they actually start to cover very slowly? Like the whole Tesla thing.
They could. But well, I think I talked about this earlier. It's like if they do that and the price goes like linear with like little dips,
Yeah.
it's going to make it worse for them because it'll literally just keep going because there's going to be more shorts coming in because they're going to be like, oh, it's fundamentally overvalued. But the shorts from 30% ago are still going to be covering. So it's just going to keep pushing the price up. So it's just going to be this cycle of just up and up and up and up.
Oh, I agree with that one. But like, I think we think they're more smart than they are.
Maybe.
Like, that sounds like common sense. Also, you know what else sounds like common sense? Covering at $2.
Exactly.
It's like, or when it gets to 5, like, you know what? Let's just cover half. And then let's see if we can get it back down again. Nope. Gio was twerking earlier today. I knew it. Wow.
Which one?
Wow.
I don't see it yet.
Oh, you'll see it.
I don't know.
Oh, you'll see it. It's newer.
I don't see it.
Look at your boy from Texas.
I don't see him. I didn't ban him. I don't see him though. Is it that delayed?
Are you looking at YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Where are you? Where did you go? Oh, here he is. No, I have not. That didn't show up on YouTube.
Didn't show up?
Never came through.
Interesting. I wonder why.
That's funny because I see it on Restream, but I don't see it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're censoring it like that. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I don't see it unless. Yeah, no, definitely not. So no on the squeeze this year? No, we don't. We just don't know when it's going to happen. SCV, do you squeeze all the sauces from the bottle into your mouth or onto the food? Neither. Wow. You put it on the side. What am I, an animal?
Wow. You guys are reaching for that one.
I'm not one of those people that just like puts it all over everything.
Uh-oh. We still talking about sauces here?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Joshua Smith, he has a very, very important question. Go for it.
How much do you want to bet that's not that important? You ever want to spice things up? That is hilarious.
Oh, see, that one came through.
That is hilarious.
I guess we're all mods and delete each other's messages. Lol.
STVs.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was crazy.
Oh my god, that is nuts.
What is this? I no longer work out to music. I just listen to STV live. I don't know how you do that with Power Half Hour. You must be laughing.
Dying laughing. Who had the question?
Joshua. Oh, here it is. Please pull up the option chain for STV or for AMC.
No. We want the question first.
That is the question. He just wants the option chain pulled up. Here it is.
I feel like there's another question coming. You should put like messages 1 of 5 so that we know that there's gonna be more coming the other line.
Yeah, because I'll just miss it. Ooh, what's up, big yellow bird?
I want to show you something very strange that I found. Okay.
Ooh, Joshua Smith. I got it right here. Which expiration date?
Are you trying to leave the office, Kobe? Speak out.
I wake up my girl every morning at 4 a.m. to TMI. Oof. That's not really your girl anymore.
Listen,
That's
yeah,
our girl.
I knew this guy went to school and got spicy.
Dude, it's power half hour.
So tomorrow morning, when you're waking up or she's waking up, give me a heads up. Let me know.
And you'll just yell stuff?
I'll just talk to her.
Oh, cool.
Just let me know what her name is in the morning, not now.
Yeah, Stevie. So when did we get paid for modding? Or what these bills don't pay themselves? Real mods get merch discounts. Fake mods get fake wrenches.
Oh, I guess I need to. Oh, interesting. Okay. I need to set my game up. STV's over here leading the way.
Pull up the chart for the option 2. It's September 17th. Joshua, keeping us on topic. Thank you. September 17th, I'm there. Ooh, Trey Spider, what's going on? All right, Joshua, I'm waiting for that next very important question.
Hit me with your best shot. Do.
Ortex.
Listen, my ASMR voice is not creepy. Okay, first things first. My ASMR voice is dope. It's hot fire, like whoever the heck was saying that before.
All right, I'm waiting for another Joshua message. I'm very interested to see what he found on this option chain.
Let's go.
9/17 is big because of the quarter, right, SCV? Yeah, it's the monthly options expiration date for September, and it's also the last expiration date before the end of the fiscal year in the quarter end for Q3. Real quick, what are y'all thinking for tomorrow? I'm hoping for some boom boom candles.
Boom boom candles. I bought 5,622 calls for Friday at
Oh, you did.
I can't remember the number I said out there just now. I can't
remember 5,000 something.
I bought 5,242 calls for Friday at $45. So I expect them all to hit. And
so you spent like $1 million.
An easy $1 million. Didn't even blink twice. Just dropped it like pow.
Pull up the chart for it, Joshua. I can't on here. Like, there's no chart for.
See, I told you this is gonna be a bad situation.
Joshua, you can't pull up like a chart for the options on Webull. Are you looking on Ameritrade? You can pull up some charts for options on Thinkorswim. What was that noise?
That was some ASMR stuff.
There you go.
Just changing the game up a little bit, you know? Yeah. I have to get ready for tomorrow morning.
You got Rose over there with you?
That was good. I was going to text that guy today, actually. I'm texting him right now.
All right, we got 2 minutes left. Say some wild stuff, whatever you want.
Gangster.
Still waiting for one of these Mega Million winners to be an ape and just drop the hammer. Yeah, it wouldn't really do much. They would have to do it on one day. Dun, dun, dun.
60 seconds.
Round 1.
Fight.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hedge Capital.
Oh, that was good.
Dude, I have a good wrench impression.
That was good. Look at the consolidation.
Ticker symbol AMC. Yeah, I got the first part down. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to go watch some wrench videos to see if I could get like a good 30 seconds down, and I forgot to do that. All right, you guys got like 20 seconds left before I go off for the night.
There we
And lamp
go.
up. Oh, all right.
Lamp
All right,
on,
guys.
lamp off.
Thanks for coming in for another stream. We had a solid day today. Oh, this is GameStop's. I completely messed this up too. I went to that was wrong. I pulled up the GameStop's option chain. Whoops. It happens. All right. So you guys should all know me by now. Short the VIX on YouTube. Short the VIX1 on Twitter. Short the VIX1 on Instagram. If you guys follow me right now, I will follow you back. Same thing with TMI. Masked Investor, the Masked Investor on YouTube. Masked_investor on Twitter. Masked_investor on Instagram. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Deuces.